Hold on. Let me take a sip.
Cheers and good morning.
Sorry about Wednesday.
I'm up. I'm ready. I'm like, all right, everything's written out. We're ready to go. I'm finally on time.
Yeah.
Not going to make it by.
Sorry.
Okay.
Stuff happened, and typically when we podcast, I go into work a little bit later.
Yeah.
And there was stuff that was going on, and I had to go in earlier than I anticipated. And because the studio is so far away, if I change my schedule by an hour, that's my entire commuting time. So I can't. And then I have to get a new cord for my remote session. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah, we weren't going to do that virtually again.
I didn't. No, I need to get that sorted
Tori
out.
doing her best mime impersonations and pointing at her phone. Read it. I just texted you.
So bad. So, I do have to get it. What do I do? Just order one?
Yeah.
Dad'll tell me. Can Dad just send me a link of the thing to order? Okay.
Yep.
We'll
get it done. It'll be here tomorrow. It's fine.
Perfect.
Kind of like what happened yesterday with the headphones debacle. All the kids are home now from school. And my daughter's job is cleaning houses. Well, my son just got new earpods, and watching him put concrete in the ground and set up his new basketball hoop has been the joy of the whole neighborhood. Seeing that boy dig a 6-foot hole, see him mix concrete to go in said 6-foot hole.
Wow.
Well, that's why he got his new earbuds also. He's been working his little tail off, and I appreciate it. So my daughter just decided to take it upon herself to take his old headphones to work with her while she's cleaning houses, much to the dismay of my 23-year-old, who is also stealing her brother's headphones. And I know we're supposed to buy local and support local, but zip on an Amazon, and she's got new headphones coming today, and everyone should have headphones.
You're like, in the context of everybody needing to shut up real quick.
Right?
I'm not going to go to my local Best Buy. I'm going to go to Amazon.
It'll be here tomorrow. Let's not talk anymore.
Yeah. Can you just hold out for 24 hours?
What we did prior to that, it just didn't work.
That's funny.
So yeah, if a $25 fix could make her happy, it's done. I don't care.
Anything else new?
It's just summer now, so I feel like I'm wrapping up my June. It's been intense. It's been a lot. I have my final wedding before September, so I'm excited for you, Shaylin, but I also just want to bang it out and have a good time. So
that's fun though.
And it's a country marine wedding. So
I know about this wedding.
I don't know what I'm getting into.
I was on her consultation.
You were on my Zoom call.
Can I go? I'm sorry.
Come on down.
Sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, right. She's the more the merrier person anyway.
Fun.
Yeah. Awesome. She works for one of our local banks. So
awesome.
I know. She's going to let her hair down and not be a teller for once.
Oh, I love that.
And then another one of our friends, Olympia, is extremely pregnant, but she's also like the dance party starter. So I don't know how that's going to work.
I think it'll be a sight to see.
I'm like, as long as Olympia doesn't go into labor, we should be okay.
That's funny. I mean, jury's out. We'll see.
Right? Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll report back on Monday if we have a show. I'll do my best.
Oh, man.
What about you? You've got sailing this weekend.
We start. My first sailing weekend is this weekend, which I'm really, in theory, I'm super excited. In reality, I didn't really work out as much as I should have.
You're gonna be sore. It's gonna
rain. Yeah, and it's 2 days back to back. It's 2 races, 2 days back to back. So it's just a lot for the first weekend. There's no, warm up. Get out on the boat.
Trial by fire. Let's see how you did this winter.
It's totally not. So I'm a little bit nervous for that because there's no this is the trial. Do you know what I mean? We have a full series that we do that we are super competitive in.
Yeah.
In July. So this is kind of like the get on the boat and see how it feels and remember what you're doing kind of a thing. But it's still really overwhelming.
I'm kind of all set with the ocean right now after the whole submarine situation.
Yeah, I wondered if we were going to talk about that.
It was bad. That's awful.
Yes. Also have so many questions.
I would, that is the worst way to go. I've thought about my demise and how I'd like to go. It is not being sucked into myself. Do you imagine the headache before that happened?
Yeah, you don't
Those
remember.
Poor people.
I don't think you really. I think it's so quick.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like this is bad. This feels bad. This feels even worse. And then you start to see people go. I think the whole thing just went.
I feel like it's a better way to go than running out of oxygen, waiting to die.
I agree with that.
So I guess in the
3
scope,
days.
that was a better way to go.
Yeah. I just have so many questions about it. just the new, why there was so much media coverage.
Yeah.
So much media coverage that I'm almost suspicious. Like what? There are terrible, terrible, terrible things that happen every day.
I think they were just trying to shine a light on some nonsense that should not have happened.
Yeah, but I think there's crazy people that do crazy things all the time. Why is this the one that got 40
so much
coverage?
Press? Yeah.
And why was there so much money spent in this rescue? So much money, millions and millions of dollars spent on this particular rescue, especially when in parallel there are people that are trying to flee their countries and crammed on boats and lost at sea almost every day. And you don't see the rescue efforts in trying to save those people consistently. Fair. And yet we're spending 4 days of media coverage and millions of dollars trying to find these particular people or this particular situation. It just kind of felt weird to me, especially because this was a very volunteered excursion.
Yeah.
There was no, I mean, it says all this stuff is coming out. It said in the paperwork, like, this is not a certified, checked over. No
right. No,
this
is an extreme tourism.
The CEO of the company who then passed was on camera saying, I'm not supposed to break rules. I was breaking rules. Like, in building the craft, it just, I'm a thrill seeker, but this just feels dumb.
No, thank you. I definitely wouldn't have taken my teenage son with me.
On Father's Day. Just reportedly came out, the aunt was like, he really didn't want to go either.
The dad didn't want to go?
No, the son didn't want to go.
Oh, God.
The son didn't want to go.
Yeah, the son didn't want to go. He's 19. He wanted to stay at home.
Yeah.
That's what they all want to do.
Yeah. Probably why the dad was like, get in the boat. Can't joke about it.
Yeah, right.
So
I
sad.
know. It's way too soon to joke about, but also.
Yeah.
You knew.
Something about it just sits weird to me. No? I mean, it's a complete tragedy. It is so awful, but something about it sits weird. Is it just the obsession with the Titanic? Is that what it is? Because it's that in itself, that story.
It's the summer. There was nothing. They just needed something to, I mean, and it kind of is one of those humanity pieces where they got him, they saved him, they got him out of the, Timmy got Lassie and everybody got out of the well. It's just like one of those moments.
Everybody was
a baby Jessica moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something that we could all rally around.
True. Yeah.
That's, not positive, but if the outcome could have been.
May he rest in peace. But the CEO of that company, every video I see of him, every talk I see of him, he seems like an egomaniac that just has let his ego come over
all
logical thinking and ability to make a good decision in life and death situations.
Yeah.
And
there we go, natural selection. He wasn't young either. He was like 77.
Why would you get into a vessel, go down to a completely pressurized?
Well, he's 77. Bleep it. I've lived to be as long as I've.
But he had done it several times. That was not his first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, just super interesting, and of course, just awful. What a tragedy. But I was thinking,
just awful. What a tragedy.
Well, it is. But I was thinking, I'm a thrill seeker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a complete adrenaline junkie. Is this something I would do? I think people are going to hate me for this. This particular submersible, no, because it's very clearly, like, I would do my research, but getting in a little thing and going down to see the Titanic, 100%. If somebody was like, you could do this for free, totally, I would do it. It's super, super, super
just like
dangerous.
Going up to the moon. I would do that too.
So I don't know if I would go to the moon, but I would do this.
Oh, I would do both.
In the ocean, I think is scarier than the moon. Like, I think there's more that can go wrong going into the ocean than going the other way.
I don't know about all that, but I would definitely go.
Which way is worse?
Would you go if you could go for free? I probably would have.
If you knew, okay. Caveat to that is if you knew it was totally safe. If this was a full,
nothing's totally safe.
Yes, but if you knew this was a more safe vessel, not like we don't need that.
Like in the Alvin.
Yeah.
If the Alvin wants to take me, I'll go.
I would totally go.
Yeah. So Tori and I will go. Just pick us up. Let us know.
I wonder.
We'll meet you in Woods Hole.
I wonder if my dad would go with me because he's the other thrill seeker.
I love it.
I feel like that is something my dad and I would be like, let's go see how it works.
Would you go if you would go for free?
Or even if it wasn't free, just like
if there was certain death, though. I mean, I'd take the risk. It's kind of cool.
I don't know.
Either way,
because I'm like skiing off cliffs, and
they
I'm like,
won't
this
be
is
at breakfast.
for sure death.
Yeah, right.
I'm not certain. Like, this is like 100% likely.
It's not going to be all about death today. We got some updates for you.
We actually have a lot of updates.
Yeah, what's roasting? Let's get into it.
So on the Bebe Rexha thing, apparently the person really did, in fact, on
right.
purpose.
I know you were trying.
Throw them the benefit of the doubt,
but then when I saw her eye the next day, I was like, that was not by accident.
No, on purpose, because he thought it was funny. And if that's not a perfect quintessential representative of the dumb male mind, I don't know what is.
She looks bad. She looks real bad.
He has since been arrested.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The woman who we reported last week was alive in her coffin for our weird news story. She then died a week later.
How awful. So anticlimactic.
Do you think they were like...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did we triple check it? Like, are we really sure? Are we sure? That's kind of cool, though, that she got to come back and be like, not yet.
Okay, but now.
Right? Maybe she got all of her last minutes in.
I feel like we were just speaking things into the universe because we were talking about Running Up That Hill with Kate Bush, and then it surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify. It became the first 80s song by a female artist to reach over 10 figures on the platform.
Incredible. Good for you, Kate Bush. I was always a fan. I was.
Like, if you're listening...
I'm going to send this to you. I was always a fan.
Did we push that? Did we help those last few streams? Did anybody of our listeners go and listen to that song afterwards?
We'll take credit for it, Tori.
100%.
Yes, we will.
More updates. Kevin Costner's wife in their dissolution of their marriage.
Yeah.
With the fingers.
Is that what that was?
And that's what I metaphorically
It's not spirit fingers. It's end of relationship. This is the crumbling.
Dissolution fingers. Anyway, she's asking for $248,000 a month in child support.
For all three, steep.
For all 3 children. Yes, it does feel steep. Except that Kevin's 22 income was listed at $19,517,641.
Yeah, but you can't have $250,000 a month child support.
What's $250,000? That's $3 million. $3 million out of your 19 for your kids.
For how long? For how long?
Their family's expenses, not including taxes, were listed at $6 million. It was almost $6.6 million.
But she's asking for $248,000 a month.
How many more expenses do you have in your life that aren't your 3 kids?
That's $1 million a quarter. That's $3 million a year.
Right.
How long? How many years?
Well,
how much money before he is dead broke?
How old is he?
Old.
No, he's not that old. I don't remember.
I think he's 70.
65? No. Well, it depends on... That's a court-issued thing.
Right?
Alimony, although maybe that's just alimony. Child support's till they're 18.
Child support, no, and it's not even till they're 18. It's like 21 or 24 if they're in college. It depends on what state it's in.
I don't know. I feel like you're Kevin Costner. You can afford it.
Yeah, but now Kevin Costner's got to go back to work, and he's having a problem at work.
The net income for their family after all expenses and taxes was $7.6 million.
Stop spending so much money. The man's 68 years old.
Okay.
He's past retirement age.
A lot of people in my family. My grandfather is 90 and still is retired.
Right.
Just never did. I'm totally hearing you. However, this to me makes perfect sense from her point of view.
I mean, she's only 49.
Well, but she's not
accustomed to be living in a lifestyle.
But in this particular case, this is not, you're talking about 2 different things. You're talking about alimony versus child support. These are 2 different expenses.
No, but also 100% of their private school tuition, extracurricular activities, sports, healthcare expenses. She's asking for this on top of it.
Because she's been nothing but his wife. She has got no ability to support these kids 50-50 the way he can. And he has had expense household of $6.6 million. You think kids don't make up 70% of that? So now what? They're going to take that 70% and he's only going to pay 35 or 50%.
Some of the expenses listed included regular travel to the Caribbean, Hawaii, Aspen, regular entertainment of guests, requiring catering or chefs, in addition to the upkeep of their several large properties costing $2 million a year.
I'm not saying that it's rational in the world, but I am saying in context of the expenses of their household, this seems totally rational to me. Your kids are your biggest expense.
Right.
by far. So if your entire expense is $7 million a year, why would your kids not make up
that
three
on
of
top
that?
of it? Like all of the kids' expenses
No,
she
no,
wants
no,
on
no.
top of this.
No,
yes.
No.
She's asking for this on top of it.
But you're getting it wrong. In 2022, when they were together, their household expenses were $7 million. So let's assume now they're split, right?
She has the ability to make money.
Not $3.5 million to cover her half of those expenses.
She doesn't need to keep the expenses the same.
But this is
honey, your life is changing.
But she's not asking about her expenses. She's not talking about alimony. These are for her kids. Do you see my point? Like
don't agree.
Her kids are going to be, whether they're together or not, are going to be probably to keep their lifestyles exactly the same, are going to be probably $4 to $5 million a year out of that.
But she's not spending that because she's asking for that on top of
Of course, because she can't afford it, but she's trying to figure out how to cover the $5 million to afford these kids. And she's looking at him going, hey, this is what our kids cost. I don't have a job. Our household expenses are $7 million to cover everything. You got to pony up the $3 to help them to keep all of the shit the same.
I disagree. I very much disagree. She's entitled to her half and whatever that is and however that worked out. And then he can help out with the kids. But I mean, her life is going to change. I don't think that she just gets to sit and have private chefs and caterers.
But it's not her life. She's talking about for the kids. There's a complete difference between alimony and child support. She's asking for child support. However she uses that money is separate.
She's asking for more support than the $250,000 a month.
She's asking for the $250,000 a month for child support
for
all three.
No, and then asking for all of the other stuff paid too.
That's right.
Private
alimony.
Tuition, private this, private all this, that on top of that money.
You're talking about $250,000 in cash to be able to support their lifestyle that they already have, which makes sense to me. At $3 million a year,
right,
would be to keep their expenses the same, considering their entire household expenses are close to $760.
And then to pay for 100% of all the other stuff, healthcare. What is that money going for? Your rent is not that expensive, and the kids are just going to have a different time. We make s'mores out in the backyard when we're together with mom.
I'm not saying their lifestyle is rational. I'm saying the amount of money she's asking for seems rational to me. Oh my God.
I think it's absurd. I don't think a judge is going to allow it, but we'll have to see.
I bet this will go.
And trust me, I'm not a Costner fan. I know the man's a pain, and I've seen this before.
Well, I just can't believe he's releasing all this information. Like, somebody in Kevin Costner's group would have had to say in 2022 his income was this down to the dollar. So he's releasing this information.
Kevin, where are your people?
Doing his work, doing his dirty work. They're trying to get the media on the side of she's crazy, she's asking too much money. And instead, I think everybody's like, I don't know, girl, go get the bag.
Oh, speaking of girl who needs to go get something, I don't know what's going on with Amanda Bynes, but here we are again. Having that conversation, and I just feel really bad for her.
She was on a 72 psychiatric hold, and now she is being held for at least another week. I was reading something though where she called for somebody else, and then they picked her up, or she called about a woman on the street. Like, she called the police herself asking about somebody else or reporting somebody else, and then they came.
Was it like disassociation? Like somebody needs to get there and deal with this woman, and it was actually her.
It could have been. I don't know. That was it was just a weird reporting.
Horrible.
Remember when Pete drove into the house?
Finally charged for it?
Yes, and the house is flattened.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, it's like down to the foundation. They like completely just
whoopsies.
Do you think it probably hit a structural something? But or maybe it was just ironic. Like, actually, we were going to demo it anyway, so this is pretty helpful.
Right. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate it.
Yes, he has been charged with reckless driving for crashing back into a home.
All right, then.
He's speeding through the neighborhood with his girlfriend in the passenger seat. At the time, damage to the house seemed very minimal. And everybody figured Pete or the homeowner's insurance would just cover the repairs. But now,
they're like, no, we can't even live in this.
You totaled the Mercedes-Benz and the house totally.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills.
That's a bad day for you. And he's still paying money on that stupid ferry boat that he bought with Colin Jost. He said one of the world's worst investments. He's like, I don't even know why I did it. I just want to get rid of it now.
I was
definitely high, and it was definitely a bad idea.
Totally. Tyga and Avril.
I don't think anybody's surprised by that. It was
all kaputs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping there'd be more diamond necklace situations, but and Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello.
And she was the one who ended it there. He's still not right.
I think he's just struggling.
I think he's just too needy.
They gave things a try, but ultimately the timing isn't right for either of them. They're both staying busy and doing their own things. That is true. Something happened.
Yeah, right.
You're a liar. You don't get back with your ex and then just be like, we're just too busy now.
Yeah.
I put all of this effort to get and deal with the trauma of getting back with my ex, but now I'm just busy. Nope.
Yeah, that definitely smells to me like he ended things.
No,
she got him. No, she got him back because it was like, you can't break up with me. I'm gonna break up with you.
Oh,
I got him back. I got him hooked. He's back in. Now I'm good. I've done it before. I'm not above it.
I bet you I could do that if I really tried.
Exactly. There's something just so joyous about being able to come back for it and be like, no, I'm not interested.
The amount of emotional trauma I would go through just to get
I
back
reject
to that
you.
relationship.
I'm on
any
top.
of those relationships.
I'm going out. All right, so there you go. You have it. All of our updates.
That's it. There's there's some.
Well, that's not it. There's other stuff, but honestly, we're tying a lot of bows on some loose ends.
Yeah,
as we change seasons.
Also, the other thing I was going to mention is, did you see that ASAP Rocky referred to Rihanna as his wife, and the whole internet's up in arms?
What? Who cares? They have babies together. Like,
are they married then? I don't know.
Does that piece of paper matter at this day and age?
I can see ASAP Rocky just being like, she has my baby. She's literally pregnant. We're in a club. That's my wife.
Yeah.
Like, what else am I going to refer to her as?
Right.
Because girlfriend just like ain't it.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I'm kind of over the label girlfriend. I'm actually over all the labels in general. I've been like thinking about this a lot lately.
She's labelless.
Yeah. The categories. Because everybody views them differently and sees them differently.
Yeah.
In the different phases differently. And then you carry shame if it doesn't match the exact process of what the internet tells you it should be.
I've never been a label person ever anyway. So
I'm just, maybe is it my age that I'm just like,
I've also been married since birth. So I don't know.
You've had the same label. Listen, when you're out here trying to figure shit out.
That's it. I don't know anything about the labels.
Are you dating, or are you seeing each other, or are you in a relationship, or are you in a committed relationship?
We're just
hooking
my
boyfriend? Are we just hanging out? Those are all you don't know. And if you ask the question, blows the whole thing up.
Yeah, then you look crazy and needy.
And you risk losing whatever the thing is in entirety because you just asked the question.
Yeah, I would find that obnoxious. It's semantics.
It's all semantics.
I don't deal with that well.
Things that my friends are going through that I've had to think about. And I'm sitting over here like, have fun, guys. I'm going to go sailing.
I'm good.
Bye.
There you go. Enjoy your time on the water. What do you got for content, Rex?
I rewatched The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I highly recommend, except I would skip the last episode if you already know what happens, because you don't need to bawl like a baby on a Tuesday night.
Did you bawl like a baby on a Tuesday night?
100%.
You're like asking for a friend.
It's so sad.
It is a really good one, though. I do enjoy that.
It's so cute. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it looks so much like the Cape.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so reminiscent. I think they based it on the Cape, and they'll never say yes or nay. And I think they filmed it in like South Carolina or something like that. But the town is called Cousins. There's so many little references to stuff that are like, oh, that's 100%
tons of Cape references. Yes. Yeah, but it looks a little bit more like Hamptons, but
they talk about it as if it's a New England town.
Yeah,
it's close to Boston. It is 100% Cape Cod. They just won't say it.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but it's cute. Watch it.
It's a fictional. I think they just wanted it to be relatable to like any coastal town, which I get. New Englandy, whatever. But like, it's Cape Cod.
I started watching something funny yesterday as a suggestion from my friend Ted Murphy, our local author here in town, who is writing under a pen name. Declan Rush is actually coming on my show in a little bit with his new book, because he had to change his name because he writes kids' books. So we've talked about him a little bit on our show. So I'm looking forward to him bringing me one of the new copies of his book, which is locally available. Very excited. Macabre Trophies.
Okay.
So he suggested that I watch this show. It's on Peacock with Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. and it's called Based on a True Story. So they're podcasters. So they meet a real life serial killer. And so they bust him. They know it's him. They call him out on it. And they're like, we won't tell the cops if you do a podcast with us.
Oh my God.
So it's so stupid, but it's so funny. It's actually funny.
It's fiction, I'm assuming.
And yes.
That's cute.
Well,
so
it's like based on a true story.
That's also terrifying.
Right? Yeah. So it so far is really, really good. Okay. And I'm enjoying it.
That sounds like something I'd be
into.
It's kind of what's the show with Selena Gomez?
Oh, Only Murders in the Building. Yeah, exactly. It's similar. Only I like Kaylee Cuoco better, and she's pregnant in it.
Oh.
So, like, I love the fact that her character is like not hiding it. My character is also pregnant. So they just incorporated it into the storyline, and I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Based on a true story, go check it out if you need something light and fluffy on a rain day. Or it could be like Tori sailing in the rain.
It's like a 70%.
Don't get hurt.
And the problem too is that the salt water at this point, because it's not mid-July, is cold. So it's just going to be cold rain, cold salt water.
Sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be at a country Marines wedding, so.
This is one of those things that a friend was calling me out on it. He was like, this is what you do for fun, by the way. Like, this is what you enjoy.
That's what we do.
I guess so. It's actually kind of miserable. All right, I'm going to go do that, I guess.
Get perky with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the First Shot Morning Show. Hopefully by Monday, I will be dry.
Have a good weekend. No, that's grumbling.
No, the dissolution of a relationship. I was thinking run out, wring me out like a towel. I'm going to be soaking wet.
Bye.
The First Shot Morning Show is produced by Lemonadio. When life gives you lemons, make radio. We encourage everyone to listen happier.com.